So these days, the young folk, right? It's 1 or 2 fingers max.
Yeah.
Back in my day, mate, it was a glove on each hand. You would oh, hello! Ah! And welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, where the Gramps build continues. Well, it would if we had a freaking car.
There's a slight issue with the car transport. It was too broken to drive up to AM Auto. So alternate methods.
I know what that's like, isn't it?
Being too far to drive.
Oh, when you're too broken to drive, mate.
Yes.
You can't get up the highway.
It was making some unfortunate noises.
You cannot get up the highway, the stairway to Queensland,
Right.
can you?
Apparently, if you can walk up a flight of stairs, I believe it's something like 7 stairs, you are fit enough to make love to a man or a woman. Fact.
Cheers.
So there is a slight problem. The spot behind me is where the car is supposed to be, but it's not. So yeah, our mate the car carrier is yet to materialise. We are hoping with crossed fingers that he does, otherwise I'm very tempted to go and offer the guy who owns the same car who's parked it right outside the front gate $500 for his Gramps version 3. But yeah, we've still got our fingers crossed that version 2 will show up, and today will be a success.
With the cross member painted beautifully black, Turbo Yoda puts the steering rack back together.
Look at those, Al. Look at those shiny painted rack and saddle support bush things.
Yes, very nice.
You love them, right? Have you ever seen ones that look quite so good?
No, I've never seen this combination of
I think you
colours,
just got oil on that one.
shades, colours.
It's actually 50 shades of rack bush grey. That's what it is.
Excellent.
I'm going to write a book. I'm going to make millions. It's going to be about you putting rack saddles. Look at that. You're steering things in the right direction now. Oh yeah. Yeah, so you're with me on that. You kind of like the big shiny front mount hanging out, right? So you can,
Not on my own car.
Really?
No.
But you do like seeing a big, tough, massive car with a big turbo and a big, dirty front mount on it, right?
Yeah, sure.
We got our black intercooler back from the shop. We found some more things to do while waiting for our car to show up.
These are V-band outlets, weld-ons for a wastegate. So we have difficulty getting 2-inch V-bands for some reason that no one makes them around here. So what we do is get these outlets and the clamps, and these have got your Marmon lip on them. What we're going to do is just take off the lip off 2 of them, so we've then got a mating set.
So these are going to go. So we're going to go headers out of the engine,
Yeah.
and then we're going to go into them, so it's easy to.
Well, we're going to use them because they seal a lot better than a gasket. It's probably going to have 30-pound of exhaust manifold pressure or something like that. So it's something that can ruin gaskets pretty easily. So these are gasketless, and they're also got the lip seal on them, so they're going to have a good seal. Being easy to get on and off is a bonus, but it's not really the main point of it.
We're using a lathe to slowly grind away any unwanted metal. This then allows us to clamp the 2 pieces together using a clamp, and that is a V-band. I started to clean up our rear brake rotors, but was soon distracted by the sound of a truck out the front. The car sounded as sick as ever, but we were happy knowing soon that the engine would fire its final tortured spark and be released from the clutches of its body shell, which would form the base of our new monster build.
We got a car out.
Yeah, it's good.
Now what do we do?
Pull it to pieces.
We wasted no time. With the car in the air, we could begin pulling out, well, just about everything. But first we had to drain all its fluid, metal chunks and all.
Hasn't had much love, has it?
All the hoses, pipes, mounts, guards and brackets had to come off to make way for their uprated cousins.
Hey Al, this motor actually says NA on it.
Yep.
Can you see that? Is that because it has no turbo and it's weak?
Yes. They had to mark it so you knew.
Does that upset the force?
It does.
Must be
It
eradicated.
just means they haven't got there yet. They're only NA for a certain period of time before they realise.
It's still a pad one. These lower control arms are coming out.
Yeah.
Is that so we can then drop everything?
Yeah, we just need to get them out of the way so they're not in the way of the crosswind when it comes down.
Which means, does that mean the hubs stay attached
The
to...
hubs can stay hanging.
Okay.
Guide shafts come out.
Yep.
And yeah, just need to make a bit of a corridor there so it doesn't hook up on anything.
And we're gonna, so rather than lift it out through the top, we're gonna just
No, we're going to drop the whole lot out the bottom because it's all going in the bin anyway.
literally in the bin?
Literally.
Some of the parts needed some encouragement with a big hammer. It looked like many had never been touched, and by that I mean never serviced or repaired. The shell may have been unloved in the past, but that was about to change.
That was on film, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And if it was, edit. That's staying. Nah, man. Them's the rules.
Most of these old parts would be going straight into the scrap bin. The tail shaft we would be able to keep and reuse, as it's one of the few parts that is compatible with the 6-speed gearbox we're using. Brakes, hubs, drive shafts, it all has to come out.
The rear apart, this is all the original stuff. We're going to be changing the diff.
Yep.
So these shafts will go as well?
Yeah, that's right. So everything in an R180 rear end is bigger.
Yep.
Because they're built to handle more power and
Yep.
also DCCD, which is drive bias to the front and rear.
Mm-hmm.
So
But our new hubs will fit straight into these shocks. Will fit with these arms, sway bar links.
that's right.
Whole lot.
This all shares the same design as a GC or GD, WRX or STI.
Cool. So we can just bolt our new hubs in, which will have different discs, they'll have the Brembo rear calipers. Bolt it all in, handbrake will work.
Yep.
Cool.
And
It's just
yes.
Lego car, isn't it?
Exactly.
Literally Lego car.
It may be a Lego car, but I don't remember Lego being this full of brake dust and mud.
So this is the diff that came out of the stock car. This is an R160, which is what comes in a lot of the kind of more boring ones. This is particularly boring because it's out of an auto and it's an open center, which means you don't get any kind of torque sensing or anything, and it'll just spin the unloaded wheel, which is not cool. This is an R180, which is a lot cooler, and what comes out in a lot of STIs and things like that, which is what this is from. So it's a limited slip diff, which is good, and the 180 stands for the size of the crown wheel that's on the back of it, so 160mm, 180mm. You can also get R200s and 230s, which come out on things like Datsuns and boring Nissans and stuff like that. So this will fit into the back subframe of our car. We put the shafts in it, we put the hubs and brakes and stick it all together, and we've got a working rear end.
All this stuff has to be put into this shell. It is an absolute jigsaw puzzle. Having owned my fair share of Subarus over the years, and with Subaru's habit of building cars from a parts bin, I wasn't too daunted. And with Alan Miles' experience on hand, it was gonna be fun. We have to change the flange on the end of the diff to make it fit our car's tail shaft. Nothing that a rattle gun and a hammer can't sort out. It can then be installed back into the car, into the factory diff cradle.
I've noticed something, and that something is that you are not taking the shafts out of those hubs.
Yeah, that's because they're seized in there.
Is that common?
It's very, very common.
Really?
You should always put grease or anti-seize on drive shafts in any car, because it's incredibly frustrating when you can't get them out. Just throw it in the bin if you want to do a wheel bearing or something like that.
Which means you've then got to replace like the whole hub.
Yeah, just throw the whole thing away.
And that's a crap job, particularly on a rear, because you got handbrakes and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yep.
Alright, well we'll throw it in whole, and then if I ever need to replace a bearing, I'll think of you.
It's not going to worry us in this case, but maybe down the track it might.
And such is the way with second-hand parts, but we're on a pretty tight budget, so it'll have to do.
So these backing plates are a little bit bent. Al reckons it's because the car was probably sitting on these in a scrapyard in Japan somewhere with no wheels on it. So we're going to bend them back. A lot of people take them off as well. Al's not into that. He reckons they're there for a reason, and you know, to stop water getting in and all that kind of stuff. But he's a rather sensible chap. But we're going to leave them anyway. And now they're straight, and they won't rub on the discs because that makes a crap noise. No.
Our rear hubs are sorted, and now it's time to shift our focus to the engine bay.
That's cool, man. Can't use that, can we?
Can, but it's more difficult because of the dual outlets.
Al, this is the last time that throttle is ever going to exist.
Yeah, no longer required on this vehicle. Might reuse it on something else though.
Goodbye to the old technology. That is the throttle cable. We replace with some wires.
Yep.
So something else that goes in the bin is this old cruise control unit that operates off engine vacuum to pull the throttle open when you have the modules and stuff in there. Which with an electronic throttle you don't need anymore because the computer can just tell the throttle opening how much to go. So that's something we may do in the future. We're unplugging everything because we've got basically got to rewire most of it anyway, right?
That's right. We won't use any of the factory wiring. This is wiring connectors there, auto, some down there. None of it will be used in this case because we're going to use the Haltech ECU.
Which is the one behind you over there, right? That big loom hanging off the thing.
That's the
what.
one,
that's so that'll get transplanted into the engine bay.
Yeah, we just got to position it for length and stuff like that, and then we can wire it to the engine and also across to the pedal and link it up with the other parts of the car.
Jesus wept.
More earths.
What is this?
What is it? Look how angry you look, dude. What is it?
It's an earth wire held in with a tech screw.
Yeah, but that's to help performance because then you get better earthing and then you get more power, right?
You get no earthing because it rusts and falls out 5 minutes later.
Wow, he's angry.
The engine had to come out, and while we don't suggest you try this at home, we're pretty keen to see that motor get itself into the bin as directly as possible. With the engine out, we could clean up the engine bay and get to work preparing it for its new motor.
So that's the end of another big day at AM Auto. Tomorrow we'll be putting in engines and gearboxes and getting the car just that little bit closer. But it's not enough to just have an engine and gearbox, we still have heaps to do. Turbos, fabricating stuff, exhaust. It's gonna be big, but it's mad fun.
So it's good to see that the car...
Where are my keys, Martin?
Put your glasses on, mate.
I don't wear glasses.
It's good to see that the car finally arrived. It was going to be a rather average build without a car.
Where are my keys, Martin?
Mate, check the animals, check the toilet, check
The
all the normal
animals?
places. Well, that's where they usually
The
are.
normal places.
That's where they always are. So we've got a car, which means the build can actually progress, which is brilliant.
I found him! I found him, Martin!
Well done.
Issue 7 of the Mighty Car Mods magazine is out now, crammed full of automotive stories, DIY tutorials, and unlike any magazine you've ever seen before with your eyeballs. Featuring the lowdown on how the Blue Turd was crushed, plus a feature on the Ute that smashed it, and the Honda S2000 confessions. There's nerdy tech on catalytic converters, latest car news, pro photography, and your road trip checklist. A must read for anybody with a car and a pulse. We go behind the scenes of the Key to the City soundtrack that went to #1 on charts all over the world. Iron Gav takes a supercar to the Outback, plus loads of car-related awesomeness, game reviews, and rants from the MCM crew.
What was that?
Mighty Car Mods magazine, available right now as an instant digital download, so get yours immediately at mightycarmods.com.